Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne. And I bring you a video tonight titled Late Nights, the Rogue Tongue of the Sexually Attractive Man. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But as always, let's get right to it. Late nights, the rogue tongue of the sexually attractive man. And the premise of tonight's video is the man who is not afraid to lose her will always have her. And I had to create this video, Late Nights, the rogue tongue of the sexually attractive man, because this is an extension of the Monday night Zoom call that we had in my community, my Matthew C. Horne Dating Coach community. I want everyone to sign up, like we really go deep into some heavy topics on there. Okay. But essentially, Late Nights, the rogue tongue of the sexually attractive man. I took the men in my group. Uh, Essentially, I went through a typical night of what it's like to go out as me and to go out as a sexy attractive man. And so I'll pick it up with you all just like I told the group. Okay. So I typically will get to the spot late. Okay. And this is a real night. Okay. I'm taking you through a real night that I experienced. I'll get to the spot late. Will have meticulously paid attention to my attire that night, meaning I'm going out as a believable, sexy, attractive man. I'm going out, understanding what style is a reflection of how I see myself. What not the latest styles, but what style is a reflection of how I see myself. Having embraced and understand and accepted myself, there's a particular style, and every man's style cannot be sold to you. Your style must be found. Okay, so that's the first step. I go out, hit the spot late, and that's it. I'm wearing clothes that look like a man that women would be very attracted to. That's the first thing you have to do. Okay, your attire. The woman's going to have a conversation with your presentation before she has a conversation with you. Okay, night is winding down. I get to the spot late, and I see a girl who's my exact type. One of them young, light skinned, long haired girls is like 5'10", perfect body, like everything is nice, and I step to her. Just how I do, and we have some good conversation back and forth, and I'm just more or less saying to her, well, why don't we do this the right way? Like, let's keep our conversation going. I pull my phone out. She's just like, oh, I don't really give my number out like that. And of course, you never go past a woman's resistance. But, when you really understand yourself, your tongue gets a big rogue. When you understand where you are in the food chain and the hierarchy of men as a sexually attractive man, your tongue gets a little rogue, So I said, okay. I said, no problem. You can deprive yourself. And I said, you're going to have to live with the fact that you're going to have to see my tall, sexy ass in your dreams tonight. She said, what? I said, yeah, you're going to see my tall, sexy ass in your dreams tonight. And I said it with a smile on my face because I really meant that shit. And she couldn't believe it because she's in the prime of her beauty. And I mean, she was, what society would call a bad chick, but they all begin to look the same because you only have an eye for women who have an eye for you, and you're always dealing with women who look like her when you maximize yourself. So, I go from her, then there's some other girls in the spot I want to make sure I talk to before I leave. And I say some other, slick stuff. There's one spot has a mirror before you go down the stairs. And I just, walk into a pretty ass girl like, damn, we look good together, don't we? I just talking shit. Your tongue has to be rolled when you're the sexy, attractive man. When you go out on a late night, it's a sexual environment as is. So you want to make sure that your language is a permission slip for the woman to explore her sexual fantasy that is you. And that's why you have to go out as a fantasy man in the nightlife. Like, it's very important. So, I go down the stairs, I leave the establishment, and I get right back to it. I bump into the girl, the tall, light skinned one. And her friend hadn't come over yet. And I don't even know how I bumped into her. Everybody, a little buzz, you know how it is, by that time of night. And bump right back into her. And she's just like, oh my God, it's you. But she has a smile on her face. And then her friend just came out of nowhere. I guess they all were like worked in the nightlife too. So her friend came out of nowhere, and they both like 26. Her girl's probably like, I would say 5'8". I mean, just as gorgeous. I'm just like, damn, you know. And then she looked at her friend. She was just like, guess what this guy said to me? Guess what this guy said to me inside? And her friend is looking at me with a smile on her face because I'm tall as fuck. They tall as fuck. Like they know it's right. And even before she told her friend what I said to her, I looked at her friend. I was like, look at us, man. I said, she's depriving herself. Look at how good we look together. So I'm steady talking shit, you know. And so she finally told her friend, what I said to her. She was just like, yeah, he said I'm gonna see him in my dreams tonight. And I had to correct her. I said, no, I said, you're going to see my tall, sexy ass in your dreams tonight. And she was just like, listen to this guy, and everybody's laughing. But these are two women in the prime of their beauty. And most guys approach them and talk to them in the subservient manner. And I just didn't care, because I understood my level of attractiveness based on what comes back to me on a regular basis. So that's why your tongue is rogue. It's rogue because it's outside of the norm, the subservient norm of what beautiful women are used to hearing. And it's enticing as well. And so her girl, really didn't have much to say. She's just like, "Oh, you talk to us that way?" And this is her friend. Like, oh, we're light skins, and what I'm saying, like that's supposed to mean something to me. Like it's not a crop of new red bones coming out of GW, Georgetown, most notably Howard University, UDC, and then coming bringing their asses from PG County. It's red bone heaven in DC. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? And that was just my attitude. It was just like, you all are like nothing special, but I'm enjoying the conversation, and they were enjoying it too. And her friend was a little more open than she was, but I didn't really pick up on it until after the fact. Everybody's out there a bit delayed, if you understand what I'm saying. So, but the look that came from their eyes was telling. The look that came from their eyes was very telling, and it wasn't just lust; it was a look of admiration that I wasn't in subservience to them. It was a very unique look. And even though her girl, eventually, even after she told her girl exactly what I said, she began to say that, I guess my language was overzealous or rambunctious. It was something. She basically said I was doing too much. And then once again, befitting with the man who's not afraid to lose her, I said no. I was being true to myself and speaking my truth. And she was just like, well, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. See, they try to bring you under submission when you don't validate their ego and approach them with subservience. But when you stick to who you are, they have to take a second look at you. It's not just lust, it's admiration as well. And your language will elicit that from the eyes of any woman if you present yourself the right way, if you comprise yourself the right way before you leave the house. After you've done the work on yourself, you've identified the best that you have to offer to the world. You're totally in love with yourself and you don't want to be any other man. And your advantages are highlighted, your gifts, your talents, and abilities are highlighted, and you enhance the best that you've been given. That is the sexy, attractive man. That level of love develops, a deeper love develops for yourself because you have an understanding of how impactful you are because you're giving your best and life is giving you the best back in return. That's when you have a full awareness of yourself. And that's when you have you're radiating an energy field of self-love that you have more to offer any woman than she has to offer to you despite her beauty. That is a sexy, attractive man. And women love to be ingratiated into that energy field. They love it. You have to, the way I talk to those women in the prime of their beauty, it's very important that you learn to talk to women that way. Because in order for a woman to ingratiate herself into your space, the space has to be safe. And there's never a safe space if that woman knows that you desire her more than she desires you, and you don't and you disrespect yourself enough to stick around for that. That's not a safe space. She knows you're weak. All she can do is extract things from you and discard you if you're that type of man. But to talk to a woman from a vantage point of I am more of an offering to this situation than you are, and I will never be in a subservient position. You're the original man. You're Adam. You're the man she came from. You're the man that named her. And that's nature has programmed her to want to be in that space and to ingratiate herself into that space and to join herself to that kind of man and submit to him. Nature has already dictated the terms of how women desire men. And you can't escape nature. And anytime you overextend yourself, And anytime that you want the situation more than a woman wants it, you're violating the natural flow of attraction. You're violating the natural flow of desire, and therefore you're violating nature. And anytime you violate nature, there's going to be imbalance. And anytime there's imbalance, there's always going to be chaos. So your tongue has to be rogue. It has to be something that she has not encountered before, because the majority of men are in subservience to beauty. So your tongue has to be rogue, and there's no other way to put it. And so, me and her, I mean, everybody's just out there to let out. Everybody's mingling, all that kind of stuff. I ran into a couple of my boys, and her girl left, and she was just out there. And I don't know, I was just walking, and I said something to her, and she said something to me, and I was just like, yeah. I was like, you're really going to have to see my tall, sexy ass in your dreams tonight. And she was like, you doubled down on that? That's the problem. And, saying this and that. I'm like, hell yeah, I doubled down on that. I mean, it's the truth. I ain't see it any other way, and I wasn't going to let her shame me back into subservience, or shame me into subservience. It just wasn't going to work. So you have to stand tall. When you speak your rogue words, you have to stand tall when you're out in this nightlife, or just in life in general. But this is more or less, I want to show you how your night should look as a sexually attractive man. So right after that situation's over, I kind of fall back, see a couple of my boys. One guy I just met, the other guy, we know each other from around the way. And it's a little slim, little pretty, little young girl walking up the block. And she walked past us, and she looked like upset. Maybe her friends left her or something like that. And so she walks back up the block. But before she walks back up the block, I step away. I tried to holler at her friend, but I didn't know they were friends. And based on what this girl told me, the girl was pretty. When I hollered at her friend, caramel, I mean, beautiful. Had a little height on her, like she was just like I like. And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh no, you need one of them curly haired girls." So I guess she saw me talking to the light skinned chicks with the curly hair, and I was like, "Oh man, here we go." But she's gonna come back into the story. So I go back to my boys, and then the girl that was walking down the block, now she's walking up the block, and my boys like, "Damn, like she's sexy, she's slim, like she probably got that fire." Like niggas is talking all kinds of shit out there, just having a good time. So I stepped to her, and when I step to women, my approach is rogue as well, because it's not subservient. I'm giving the women a chance to take a hard look at me, because I've already taken a hard look at myself. And I know enough women are going to take a hard look at me, and I'm going to be their final destination for the night. That's the mindset that fuels the rogue tongue. So we're talking, and all I see, boop, red beam of lust coming from her eyes. We're having a little bit of conversation and small talk, and I'm about to get to the good part with her. But then next thing I know, her friends come out of nowhere, and her friends are with this dude. And this dude, rolls up on her like, "What are you doing?" He already had two girls with him, so he was being greedy. I couldn't even get one, man. But they actually had to grab her, because when they asked her like, "What are you doing?" and this and that, when her and I were talking, she tried to run. I just stepped away, went back to my boys. She tried to run back up the block and come to me. They literally were grabbing her so that she couldn't come back up the block to me. But her original friend that told me I need to go holler at the curly haired girl, she said, "You need a curly haired girl." She was cool. She saw how much her girl wanted to talk to me, and she came up to me and gave me her girl's Instagram. And then as she was giving me her girl's Instagram, she gave me her Instagram too. And the girl finally broke loose, and was able to approach me while I was talking to her friend. And I let her know, like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna blow your spot up. I don't know what y'all situation is with that dude and the rest of y'all, but listen, just make sure you reply when I hit you up." And it was all smiles. And this is just one night. One night. This is and I promise you, this is a matter of about 6 minutes. Everything I'm telling you, a matter of 6 minutes. And then so I'm still out there. Me and my boys, we're plotting. We thinking about going to an after hours. And so they tell me about this new spot, this new after hours spot. And I was like, "All right, let me, grab my sweater out of my car real quick. I'm gonna meet y'all over there." And I thought they were already over there, so I took off. It was right across the street and down the block. And I go down there and I'm asking people, where's the after hours? Where's the after hours? The 18, whatever the name of the place was. and nobody knew. So I was walking back, and then I see my boys. But as I was initially walking over there, I didn't see my boys, and I saw this beautiful girl, little foreign chick, man, Spanish. So she was kind of looking down. I didn't say much to her. And then my boys showed up, and then we walked to the spot, and the spot was just open the previous night. They told me, but it had um, one of those red signs on the door about a liquor license. So I think somebody underage was served maybe the previous night, and they shut it down. So me and my boys were walking back, and the girl who walked past me, now she's standing at the corner. That pretty little Spanish girl, and I got to talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting on my friends." And then one of her guy friends that she was waiting on, I guess she was trying to make sure he was good for the night. And then he came up to her, and I got out the way, but he complimented my watch like everything was cool, man. But I gave her a chance to choose, and my boys were behind me, so I kind of just played it in the middle. He didn't stay long. I guess he was good at getting his Uber. I went back to the girl and was just like, "What's up, man? I'm about to get out of here." She's like, "Where you parked?" I'm like, "Up the block." She's like, "What we gonna do?" She's trying to go to like some other spots. I said, "Look, this is what we're gonna do. My balcony, bottle of wine, and we chilling." That's why your tongue has to be rolled. It has to be unfamiliar, because men are always trying to add an additional hurdle to dealing with women on the late night. When they have an additional hurdle in terms of a full awareness and understanding of themselves. If you know that you're an extremely sexy, attractive man, that women are going to be checking you out and desire you sexually, and you're in a sexual environment at the most sexual time of the late night environment is the when they're closing and the let up. If you know all of this, why are you introducing additional steps? It's because you don't believe that you have become an attractive enough man to command the woman's lust and desire within seconds and moments of meeting her. This is a real thing. So I talked to the girl, and that was it. She's like, "Where you parked?" I said, "Right up the street." We dipped. That was it. Came back, and you know how that story ends, man. But as I was telling this story in my group, because I just want to take them on a journey just like I took you on a journey. This is what the night is supposed to look like for a sexy, attractive man. This is what it's supposed to look like. So one of the guys in my group that was on the call, he asked me how long did I talk to the girl that eventually went home with me. And I told him a minute and a half. He said, "Oh my God." All he could do was laugh, but he was just like, "Damn." But I said it's not exclusive to me. If you really follow what I say, especially if you're in my group, if you really follow what I say, your growth into the sexy, attractive man is going to be accelerated, and these experiences are going to become normal. And when experiences become normal, they are reference points. And when you have enough reference points, it's an inescapable new level that you cannot escape. So if a woman says, "Oh, take me on this date," or "I need to get to know you better," or "I don't know you like that," they're talking fucking Chinese. When you know the full capabilities and size of women, you're only going to accept women who see you as the optimal version of the sexy, attractive man. You're only going to entertain that red beam of lust because you know that you deserve to elicit that from a woman's eyes, and not just lust, admiration as well, because your tongue is so rogue. You're unafraid. You're unafraid of losing her. And you've identified the best experience that you want as a man, which is a woman that's extremely sexually attracted to you. So if you're afraid to lose her and speak to her with a rogue tongue, guess what? You're going to lose yourself. And a sexy, attractive man is more afraid to lose himself than to lose any woman, because beautiful women are interchangeable. And the definition of beauty is only defined by the woman who will see you and adhere to you the way that you see and adhere to yourself. That's how you can walk away. Okay, these you have these couple beautiful girls. Okay, this girl wanted to go with you, but her friends got the hating, the dude got the hating. Okay, you just go down the block and by accident, boom, here's another girl just as pretty as all of them. Minute and a half, she's ready to go. That is the life of the sexy, attractive man. That is the life of the sexy, attractive man. So just understand that you must not take a position of subservience when approaching women, and that will equate to you speaking with a very rogue tongue. A rogue tongue is a departure from the subservient speech that men exhibit when they get in the space of beautiful women. A rogue tongue says, "I have more to offer you than you have to offer to me. I am the original man. This is your safe space that you can ingratiate yourself to." A rogue tongue is speaking your truth unapologetically. You know the outcomes and the desires that you want with women. And especially in a sexual environment like a late night, you're depriving yourself of the experiences that you know you want if you're not willing to talk to women in straight lines. Your tongue must be rogue so that your experiences with women are exact and succinct. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight just talking about late nights, the rogue tongue of the sexy, attractive man. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. Also, I hear you all in the comments. You want me to make particular videos on particular topics. Those are called custom videos. If you want me to make a custom video, you check out my PayPal and my Cash App donation that's in my video description. You make a donation of $150 or more to my PayPal and my Cash App that's in my video description. When there's a note feature on PayPal and there's a note feature on Cash App, leave the title of the video that you want me to make in the note feature after you make your $150 or more donation. Then I will have your video on my channel in 24 hours or less. If your subject matter is more in depth than just leaving a note on PayPal or Cash App, you still make your donation on PayPal and Cash App, you bypass the note feature, then you email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more nuanced and detailed description of what you want me to make your video on, and everything's the same. Your video will be on my channel right here on YouTube in 24 hours or less. If my message has been of value to you, if your thought processes are elevated as a result of encountering my message. My new charge this thing up. I don't know how this thing works, but this new microphone thing. But let me hurry up and finish this. Donate if you've been inspired by this message. I'd never take a donation for granted. If my words have been impactful, then I want you to donate, okay? I want you all to join my dating coaching community. I want you all to get coaching from me as well. If you need coaching, you have different challenges and impediments that you're facing in the dating space, then I want you to go ahead and email me at matt@matthewchorne.com and put coaching in the subject matter of the email. Leave your name, your phone number, whatever issue you're facing in the dating space, and I'll reply to you. We'll set the terms of the coaching, and the coaching will commence. I'm still looking for 5 individuals to get year-long coaching from me. If you're interested in taking a year-long coaching journey with me, something very specified and tailored to you, I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave mentorship in the subject matter of the email, and then I will do an assessment and call you. And then we'll get right to it, okay? Leave your name, your phone number, and where you are in the dating space and where you want to be. I'll call you. We'll decide if we're a good fit to work with one another over the course of a year. Lastly, my dating coach community, I want everyone to join. It's on the school platform. The link to sign up for my dating coach community will be in the video description, okay? In my dating coach community, you get 2 exclusive videos every week, and you get to get on the line with me on a video chat every Monday at 8 p.m. I introduce a monologue, a topic, we discuss it. Everyone in the group can discuss it with me. Then they can ask me whatever they want to ask me over the duration of an hour. I'm your dating coach for an entire hour. Members of the community can give me topics that they want to make custom videos on, and I put them right in the community. There's a catalog of custom videos that I've made for the community, and there's also a catalog of every Zoom call that we've had as well. It's an amazing space. We communicate within the community throughout the week, so I want everyone to sign up. It's very affordable, but it's life-changing and life-enhancing. I've enjoyed spending some time with you all tonight, and please remember that the man that is not afraid to lose her will always have her. A rogue tongue is a direct line. It's direct access to every experience that you want to have with beautiful women because you're believable. You go out as a sexy, attractive man that commands the attention and lust of every woman. So don't be afraid to speak with the rogue tongue. Fully inhale yourself, fully accept yourself. And then your words will be a reflection of the experiences that you know that you deserve. I'll see you all soon.